Hey, I finished this sample. It's only a sample. I'm just doing this for your needs, your Graphghan needs, and to show you how I do not like to weave. So if this was a blanket, 100, 200, 300, 400 by whatever, you don't need to worry about a whole lot of strings hanging from the back. The strings hanging from a back, and this is how many of my, I already showed samples of how my work looks from the back after completing. It's one that I did with the teddy bear, the USA teddy bear, that I usually do every 10, 15, 20 rows. If I'm doing a blanket, I usually do every 10 to 15 rows. I will do the weaving, cutting, or whatever I have to do. That way when I'm finished the blanket, I don't have to worry about the whole thing. But I wanted, I didn't do that for that blanket. I think I did like the first 20 rows, but after that I left it because I decided to show that I do not have 1,000,001 strings hanging, and I do not have a lot of weaving to do. Because so what it is I don't carry my yarn. I use the strings that hang from each area that I need that specific color. So I will have the background colors on the side, and then down here it starts with the blue. So I had the background color and then the blue, and then I will add each color for each row. So I had the blue on this side, blue on this side, and then the orange in the middle. So I had like a good, started off with 3 color changes, and then it ended up with like 6 to 7 color changes, and then each time I go up it would vary. So the only times I would crochet or carry the yarn is if I had only 1 or 2. I do no more than 3, maybe 4, depending on how it is. If I have to go in here, like this is 3 blue, 2 orange, 1 blue, 1. I would crochet, I would basically carry over. But because this is going from here all the way up, there was no need to carry over on the whole entire thing. So I eventually just added an extra blue, so I didn't have to worry about that. And then it merged when I got in here. So basically each area I gave its own string, so each own yarn, each own color. So as I go to the next row, that color is already there waiting for me. But that's how I do that. So I will, like for here, I had to add more yarn, and this is where it ends. That's the part you don't want to see. You don't want to see the blue in between, and you don't want to see the orange in between. Like for here, you could see a little bit of it. You can see a little bit of orange because obviously I crocheted over that a little, but I think I only did it once. I'm not too sure, but anyway, I could cover that up real easy. And this right here stopped at 1. So do I carry over? No, I stop right there, and that's where I will most likely carry weave it in. But it looks like I had carried this over, and it probably stopped right here. Yeah, I probably carried it, brought it up some, and then carried it over. It sounds complicating, but basically at the end of the day, you do not want to have to weave in a whole bunch of ends. So this is what I do. I will take a smaller hook, and for strings like this, I will just take the hook and hook it through just the same color areas, not the orange, but all the blue areas. And I would just do this a couple of times until I feel it's good, and I weaved it in as much as I could. And I'm only going into, because this is a half double crochet, so if it's half double or single, you're gonna go into the actual stitch, the bottom part of the stitch, and I go through both like that, and then scoop it under like this, and see. And then the same over here, I'll go under and scoop it under like that. And because the orange is right there, I'm gonna go down, scoop it under. So I'm gonna just keep going down. I will take the tapestry needle and that I will weave in. So honestly, probably like in a blanket, like a baby size blanket, I would not have to do no more than 10 of these, because I weave in as I go, only when I can. So I do the same exact thing, same exact way that I would do with the hook. I would do it with the string, with the needle, I'm sorry. And then I'll keep going, working my way back to you, babe. And just keep going until I feel comfortable with it. So I feel like, you know, I did justice, because we don't want our strings to come apart, you know. I don't like it when they come up and it looks frizzy and stuff like that. This area right here, that's right there. I'm going to work my way down to fix that. Working my way back to you, babe. Okay. And I want to basically cover this part right there. And so I go in and I'm basically like making a makeshift stitch, and then it covers it and it's good. Now after I did that, I just take that and go finish weaving in. Weaving a couple of more times, and then I'm good to go. So after you continue to do this throughout your whole project, we tend to, some of us block our work, some of us don't. But in order to get your strings to stay in there and don't move, the best thing to do is to block, or like air dry it. Even if you spray it with some like fabric softener or something like that. Tap on it here and just keep doing that. And so the areas that I feel I need to put in more, I will just take my hook and go in like this. But the majority of them are basically weaved in, and then I snip. Boom, 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 boom. So during this phase, you have to take into consideration that I would block this first. I will wash it, hand wash it, or machine wash and cold. And I would use fabric softener, make sure that it's compatible with the recipient. So if it's a baby, I would use Dreft or unscented for those with sensitive skin. Yeah. This is a sample. This is not nothing to be getting paid for or nothing like that. And then I would crochet around it for the border. I always crochet the border because you don't want to leave your edges like this. I always make a border. But I hope this helped. Bye. So before I totally go, I just want to show you like other blankets that I've done the same exact thing. I would weave it in with the hook, and then I will also do it with the tapestry needle, and then I will cut. But this is all after blocking. I will block first. So the first thing I do is after I finish the blanket, after I'm completed with the last row, and sometimes I even add the border right then and there, I will then wash it in a machine, and then I will do it in cold, delicate, and then I will hang it up for air dry. I never put it in the dryer, so I do not know how that would be if you did that. I will let it air dry, or depending on what it is, or if depending on the day, I will either spray it with a spray bottle. And the spray bottle is like the continuous spray bottle where you spray it, and the not half but a part fabric softener and water will make your fabrics, it'll make your yarn feel nice and soft, smell good, and it will lock everything all up in there. Same thing with this blanket. I will take my tapestry needle, go in where the areas that I need to go in. Most likely it's just them 2, 3, or 1 stitch that was needed and left. So that's like a little point that's left there, and I can't go into the black or the blue. So what do? I just leave it, and then that's when I will use the tapestry needle. The finale. I don't have a picture of the back. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of the back, but this is the finale. And this is when I did the teddy bear USA. This is the back. This is how many strings I had left. After doing, this was about 130 by 130, so 300 stitches across, 300 rows, or 340 rows up. And this is all I had to do in the back. It was already weaved in. All I had to do was use the tapestry needle to stitch in those little areas and then cut. That's it. So this is me doing exactly that. I am using the scissors and just cutting those areas that needs to be cut. I think I already did the needle and the hook and crocheted whatever, not crocheted, but use the tapestry needle to weave in what I needed to weave in. Man, I wish that I could do this in real time, speed it up and get rid of this process. This is the back before the border, the front before the border, the back after border, and the front after border. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and click that bell for more of my creations.